Hi, this is Patrick Murphy on Chinese versus Thai and my experience learning both languages. So for background, I started learning Mandarin at age 23 and then Thai a couple years later at 25. I learned both in their respective countries and consider myself proficient in both. I'm hesitant to claim fluency, as that often implies flawless communication on any given topic, but I am able to communicate quite easily on a range of topics. You can watch this playlist here, where I teach the basics of Western boxing in Mandarin, and this funny little ad for Singa Soda in Thai to get an idea of my levels. So in comparing the two, I'll start with similarities and then break down some differences. Both are tonal languages, share a comparable grammar structure, and are very economical in nature. By economical, I'm referring to utilizing a few words to express a point. This is due to a greater use of context in spoken language, and there being less rigidity in its composition. If I want to know where you're going in English, for example, I can't just ask, go where? I need to say, where are you going? In both Chinese and Thai, however, a simple go where, 去哪儿 in Chinese, or ไปไหน in Thai, is enough. Both languages also share a very similar paradigm of thought. This could be its own topic, but in short, language is largely reflective of how we see and interact with the world. A good example is the common greeting in both languages. Have you eaten rice yet? It's the equivalent of our how are you. It isn't asked literally, the same way we're not always asking so literally how someone's doing, but it does indicate a slightly different attitude and set of values, right? It's almost a more practical inquiry into your well-being and an affirmation of what really matters, having eaten. This is what I mean about language reflecting nuanced differences in ways of thinking. And to keep using this greeting to further illustrate the similarities of both languages, I'll break down the literal translations so you can see the similarities in construction. Have you eaten rice yet? In Mandarin, this is 吃饭了没? 吃饭了没? Literally translated to eat rice already yet. So those are the 4 words, 4 syllables. In Thai, it's ging ka li yang, ging ka li yang. Literally translated to eat rice or yet. Same deal, 4 words, 4 syllables. 吃饭了没? Ging ka li yang. 吃饭了没? Ging ka li yang. You can almost hear a similar rhythm in each, right? Now, Chinese and Thai also both share a similar literalness to language formation, and it's better to illustrate this idea with a couple examples. So, thunder, for example, in Thai, is literally translated to sky cry. Fa rong, that's sky cry. Isn't that beautiful? Super visual. Or in Mandarin, phone, for example, is 电话, 电话, literally electric speech. Or computer in Chinese, 电脑, 电脑, electric brain. So, moving on to their differences. I offered more objective notes on each language's similarities, but for their differences, I'm going to focus a bit more on my subjective experience in learning and speaking them both. And I'll go ahead and say, I find Mandarin much easier. Thai has always felt a bit elusive, almost slippery, and just out of reach. I credit this to the melodic, sing-song nature of Thai. It's almost like attempting to wield a flimsy reed, as opposed to a heavier, sturdier sword that is Mandarin. Mandarin is sharper and more terse. I have to gently sing Thai, but I can more harshly command Mandarin. I can more firmly grip the language, but I can only cradle Thai. Another factor is the seemingly looser structure of spoken Thai. The Thai language at times appears to merely complement feelings or vibes, almost secondary in nature to the feeling imparted on the listener. Words are jumbled together, lacking much coherent structure, and thrown at the recipient to get the message. They say 70% of language is nonverbal, but Thai sometimes feels more like 90%. Mandarin also has a bit more rigidity and structure that is in many ways comforting. The parameters provide a sense of order that may be relied upon. Thai, of course, has structural rules as well, but they feel more like loose suggestions. I so often heard "Gadai" from Thai language teachers in response to my questions on syntax, translated to "also can." And while structureless may seem easier, it's quite the opposite. The trick to learning any language is grasping its structure and building upon it. And if seemingly any structure is valid, it all begins to feel like chaos. So that's my high-level overview on Chinese and Thai, outlining some similarities between the two and discussing the differences in my experience learning and speaking both. I really appreciate you listening, and if you enjoy the content, please subscribe. I create content on a range of topics from language and culture to boxing and entrepreneurship. I focus on sharing insight from my experiences, not necessarily authoritative guidance, but simply what I've learned along the way. You can learn more about me here at thisispatrickmurphy.com. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, take care.